When you hear an idea or a concept that makes so much sense to you, your response usually is, I can do that. That's exactly what you'll be thinking in 10 minutes because you'll have heard from the Energizer Bunny himself, Mike Koenigs. 8 times best-selling author, filmmaker, international speaker, Marketer of the Year winner, and innovator. Yes, Mike invents systems and procedures that entrepreneurs can immediately use. Some do and some can teach. Mike can do both, as you'll see and hear in his message, which is double your revenue in 1 year, how to build, engage, and monetize your audience with webcasts, live interactive online TV. Welcome, my friend, Mike Koenigs.
All right. Thanks, brother.
You do it.
All right. Thank you. So say hi to Periscope, everyone. Hi, Periscope. There we go. Very, very nice. All right. So a year ago or so, hardly anyone had even heard of Periscope or Meerkat or Blab or Facebook Mentions. And right now, we all have this portable television studio in our pockets, and we could broadcast to the entire connected planet for free and build an audience. And what we're going to talk about today is about owning time, which is really the most valuable asset that we have in our lives. And it starts with a little story. About 15 years ago, I was in Palm Desert with my then pregnant wife, Vivian. She walked into a little shop. I called a friend of mine. His name is Merlin Quiggle. I kid you not, that poor man. And Merlin is a producer. He produces all sorts of events, and he's been doing marketing for about 30 years. I said, hey, Merlin, what are you doing? He says, I'm out buying Rolex watches, 3 of them, for people who are responsible for giving me all the business I've had for my 25-year career. I said, that's a really nice gift. Why are you giving them a Rolex watch? And he said, who do you think they're going to think of every time they check the time? I slapped my head, and I thought, that was one of the smartest things I've ever heard. I don't know if you know this, but do you know how many times the average person checks their phone every day? Okay, the average is 150 times. And if you think about it, if you add up the number of times that people check their phones, their watches, their desktop, laptop computers, tablets, or watch their interactive televisions, it's incredible. They are trading and giving their time. And more importantly, Apple One, they're almost worth $1 trillion right now, right? It's because they own your time, they own your mind, they own your wrist, they own your bathroom, bedroom experience, your car experience. So what we're talking about today is how to be seen, heard, viewed, listened to anytime, anywhere, on demand, on any device. Because that's the business we're all in. And I like to think of it as if you can own someone's pocket in their bedroom and bathroom, something is happening. It's very, very powerful. So right now there's roughly 300 million interactive televisions in use. If you add up Apple TVs and all the doodads and gadgets that are connecting to TVs these days, roughly 2 billion tablet devices, 3 billion internet-connected laptop and desktop computers, and we're at about 7 billion or more, growing very, very quickly, the number of internet-connected accounts. Most of us have 6 to 25 internet-connected devices in our homes today, okay? That's after just doing a lot of surveying. So the next thing, and there's about 4 billion smartphones that are being sold every 2 years. That's actually according to Peter. So if you think about the level of access we have to multi-trillion-dollar infrastructures and brands that are willing to broadcast your message across multiple channels to any device, anytime, on demand, the question is, what do you need to do to stand out and be in front of all those people? So again, look at all these brands. You got the most valuable brands in the world are willing to broadcast and distribute your content free of charge, giving you access to their customers. So if you think about it, and this is the way I think about it right now, we are all in the education and entertainment business, and those who take advantage of disruptive technologies first are the winners, historically. And you look at some of our entertainers up here, all of them have figured out how to own time. So the question is, how are we going to take advantage of that as marketers or business owners or people who want to change the world? One of my goals is to create 1 million entrepreneurs before I passed. And as of almost 3 years ago to this day, I finished my very last cancer treatment. So I'm lucky to be alive. And I came back with a new vision, I just wanted to do this. This is what charges me up. And I think there's a renaissance going on right now. We have the ability to broadcast a message. Why not do great things? Why not create immense wealth using entrepreneurship as the model? So if you think about the evolution of marketing feedback, the challenge is, how do you get as much feedback as possible so you can change and refine your message? If you think about direct marketing, direct mail, it used to take a couple of weeks or months because you'd have to write your letters and send them out and wait and see what the response was. Now, if you just advance your radio and commercials, social media, ads, et cetera, we can do it quickly, but now it's possible to do it in seconds. And the big idea is feedback-driven intimacy. The faster you speed the process of gaining trust, the more time you own. It's just a matter of time before someone will want to buy from you. To say, I like this person, I think they can help me, and I want to connect with them. I know they've got a tool or a resource. I got that from Bill Harris originally. I kind of messed it up right now. I like this person. They really know what they're talking about, and I think they can help me. There you go. So what's the solution? Well, it's webcasts. Now, a few years ago, in about 2009, we started experimenting with these. These are live, online, interactive broadcasts. The opportunity to broadcast video, interact with an audience through chat, be able to say, hey, share this online, and click a button to buy, or we could actually create products these ways. Back then, it cost $20,000 to $30,000 to do a show. Now you can do it with Google Hangouts for free, or Blab, or any of these other tools, and create a very, very rapidly engaged audience just by talking to them. And whether you're talking to 1 or 5 or 50 or 500 or 5,000 or 500,000 people, which you can do for free, you can create this feedback loop through chat and actually read the minds of your audience in real time. So the way we've been using it and teaching a lot of other entrepreneurs how to do it, and just think about this, again, I think a renaissance is about to occur. Television production is going to change dramatically because of this technology. It's going to radically change education too. So what we started doing is this notion of something called You Everywhere Now. So if you can create content once and distribute it in real time to as many devices as possible, the notion is you could perform your content as an educator, as an entertainer. You could convert it very quickly into a video and distribute it on the major video sites, chop it up into chunks. You could also turn it into a podcast. You could save it as an audio. You could save it as a video. We've also started converting that content into books, putting them on Amazon and taking advantage of that channel. What we find is that someone that watches a live video is going to be different than someone who watches a podcast or listens to a podcast or reads a book or a paperback book. Same content created over and over again. Then we can put it and create podcasts, products rather. One of the strategies we've used is we will perform a product live, interactively, getting feedback and adjusting our approach and saving that in a membership site in real time. We're able to create a documentary in real time as well, and we've seen other people start using this strategy over and over again. Then you distribute to social sites, same content, repurpose, reuse to blogs, and also it helps you get attention in the traditional media as well. So again, create once, distribute everywhere, any device on demand. We've been calling this the You Everywhere Now strategy or approach. So I want to show you something I call the intimacy dashboard, because the question is, what do you need so you can read the minds and build an intimate relationship as quickly as possible with this engaged audience? So this is one of my studios. It's a whole bunch of monitors. The good news is you don't have to have all this fancy equipment to make this work yourself if you're using something like Google Hangouts, but we've broken it down into what tools you need to read this information quickly. So we have a timer, make sure we're on track, a presentation prompter, cameras above it so we can look at the screen and see what we're about to present. Maybe you've got a keynote presentation, you've got some notes, your next and previous slide, a monitor so you can see what the audience sees. But here's where things get interesting. Using a Google Doc, I have a producer who's typing notes and telling me what people are saying in real time, keeping me on track. So you only need one assistant to do this. Sometimes I have team chat, my technical team saying, here's what's going on, the shopping cart's down, wait for a little while, delay. All right? Then the stats. So I know how many people are watching, how many people are in checkout when I say click the orange buy button, how many people are buying so I can acknowledge the people who are investing in real time. And finally, the viewer chat. This is the hub of everything because I can ask a question, get feedback immediately, adjust the presentation, adjust the approach. So, quick study. JJ Virgin, got to talk about her. She's my sister from another mother. We started doing podcasts together, or rather webcasts. She's had multiple six-figure days. New York Times bestseller status. We're converting on shows that last 7 to 8.5 hours. Most people say that's impossible. They stay, they watch, and they buy, converting 38 to 52% of the average viewers into buyers because they're engaging, intimate conversations. And the most important thing that JJ said to me is, look, I learned more about my audience in 2 hours than I have in 10 years doing surveys as a result of doing webcasts. We've also put this together, a combination of a PBS special with a TED Talk. 9 presenters all together, Dave Asprey, Elizabeth Lombardo, performing, cooking, bringing on guests. And the results, 30,000 opt-ins, 9,000 viewers peak, an average of 5,400. But here's where things got interesting. Almost half the viewers bought the product because they felt like they had an intimate relationship with JJ Virgin. Okay, and the other viewers. And in a replay with live chat, people think and feel, and this is done completely transparently, no shenanigans going on, they are still interacting with the host because someone is interacting with them live with chat, able to replay that over and over again. The long format, 8.5-hour shows, people said, this is crazy, who's gonna stick around? Almost 40% of the average viewers stick around to the end. And we started a health network as a result of this. John Assaraf's also used the same thing, recording weekly evergreen webcasts that play over and over again. He's producing $1 million to $2 million in sales with a cold audience. So, takeaways and action items for you. Number 1, think about how you can use a yen strategy, anytime, anywhere, on demand, teaching, educating, selling, and building an intimate relationship with your audience. Perform and realize you're an entertainer, first and foremost, as presenters, I believe. Create once, distribute to every channel. And I gave you a book. It's in your bag. It's called Webcast Profit Toolkit. It gets into the how-to and the psychology. My name is Mike Koenigs. Thank you very much. That's my personal email address if you want to talk to me. Thank you.